Ooh, Welcome to Achiever Tutorial, friends. Today we are going to continue with the first chapter of your civics. So, Vegetarianism in Sri Lanka. Now, Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948. The leaders of the Sinhal community sought to secure dominance over the government by virtue of their majority. So, we know that the Sri Lanka got independence in the year 1948, and since many of the people living in the Sri Lanka was speaking the Sinhal language, they tried to create a dominance over the government over there, which was democratically elected. As a result, the democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhal supremacy. So because of the pressure from the Sinhal community, the government was forced to adopt some measures which led to the Sinhal supremacy. In 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the only official language, thus disregarding Tamil. The government followed preferential policies that favor Sinhala application for university positions and government jobs. So, in the year 1956, an act was passed by the government of Sri Lanka, which declared that the official language of Sri Lanka is Sinhal, thereby disregarding the Tamil language, which used to be spoken, which used to be spoken by the Sri Lankan Tamils or the Indian Tamils living in the region. The government followed preferential policies. Yes, at the same time, the government also followed the preferential policies which allowed the Sinhal people or the Sinhal community people to get to which favored them in their applications for university positions and government jobs. Next, all these government measures coming one after another gradually increased the feeling of alienation among the Sri Lankan Tamils. Since these measures were coming one after the another, it created a feeling of alienation, or it created a feeling of differentiation among the Sri Lankan Tamils. They were used to consider themselves low in front of the Sinhal community because the government of Sri Lanka was mostly supporting the or giving the preferential treatment to the Sinhal speaking communities. They felt that none of the major political parties led by the Buddhist Sinha leaders was sensitive to their language and culture. The Sri Lankan Tamils felt that the major political parties that were led by the Buddhist Sinha were not at all concerned about the language or the culture of the Sri Lankan Tamils. They felt that the constitution and government policies denied the equal political rights, discriminational against them in getting jobs and the opportunities, and ignore their interests. They also felt that the government of Sri Lanka has denied them equal rights, have discriminated against them in terms of getting jobs as well as the opportunities, and also ignored their interest in this manner. Next, the Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamils as an official language, for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing education jobs. So since the Sri Lankan people were discontent, they launched political parties as well as the struggle. They launched the political parties and struggle for what? To get the recognition of Tamil as an official language, so that the Tamil language can also be considered as an official language. Other than this, they also launched this struggle for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in getting education and jobs in the Sri Lankan region. But the demand for more autonomy to provinces populated by the Tamils was repeatedly denied. By 1980, several political organizations were formed demanding an independent Elam in northern and eastern part of Sri Lanka. But the demand that they should have a separate province, considering which were mostly populated by these Tamils, were repeatedly denied by the government. So by the year 1980, many of the political parties were launched, so that demanding and since these parties were launched, they were demanding a separate Tamil state, which is called Elam, in northern and eastern part of the Sri Lanka. Next, the distrust between the two communities turned into widespread conflict, and it soon resulted in a civil war. And when there was the distrust going on between these two communities, the Sinhala speaking communities and the Sri Lankan Tamil speaking communities of Sri Lanka, there it led to the civil war. And when there is a war, there is always a destruction. So both the parties lost in this war. Many of the families were burned. Many of the people had to leave the country and go as a refugee in someone else in others country. So all these problems were created during the civil war. Next, now we will see the different aspect of Belgium. As we all know, we are referring to the two stories of Sri Lanka as well as Belgium. So now here we are going to a different aspect of Belgium, how the Belgium handled this conflict. Now, the Belgian leaders took a different path. They recognized the existence of regional differences and cultural activities. Here, the Belgian leaders did not resort to majoritarianism, but they recognized that it is necessary that there should be an existence of regional differences and cultural diversities. We should recognize them. We should not let them go like that. As if we see in Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan leaders were mostly concerned with the majoritarianism, but here the Belgian leaders were not giving much support to the majoritarianism, but instead they thought that this cultural diversity should be respected and should also be given recognition in the government. Between 1970s and 1993, they amended their constitution 4 times so as to work out an agreement that will enable everyone to live together within the same country. So between the 1970 and 1993, many a times the constitution was amended. Amended means to bring a change without changing the basic principles of the constitution. Now, why this constitution was amended 4 times? So that there can be an arrangement brought up that will enable everyone to live together within the same country. So this constitution was amended so that the French speaking people, the Dutch speaking people and the German speaking people can live together peacefully in the country. The arrangement they worked out is different from any other country. It's very innovative. So the arrangement which they bought in the constitution by amending the constitution were very different, and this helped in, since the arrangement were very different, the arrangement they worked out is different from any other country. It's very innovative. So the arrangement which they had worked out was very much different from the other countries of the world and was very innovative at the same time. Now, constitution prescribes that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. So as per the amended constitution, it says that the number of the Dutch speaking minister as well as the number of the French speaking minister should be equal in the central government. Now, there were some special laws required to support the majority of members from each linguistic group. Thus, no single community can make decisions unilaterally. So there were some special laws, or there were some specific issues or specific laws in which the majority of both the parties is required. So this in turn will result in what? This in turn would result in that no single community can take the judgment or form the decision or can make the decision unilaterally. Unilateral means single-handedly. Next, many powers of the central government have been given to state governments of the two regions of the country. The state government are not subordinate to the central government. So the powers which were used to be enjoyed by the central government was also handed over to the state government. So the state government also used to enjoy the power equal to the central government. In other terms, we can say that the state government was not subordinate to the central government. Now, Brussels, which is the capital of Belgium, has a separate government in which both the communities have separate equal representation. In Brussels, which was the capital of Belgium, Brussels had a separate government in which both the communities, that is the French speaking and the Dutch speaking, have equal representation. Now, the French speaking people accepted equal representation in Brussels because the Dutch speaking community have accepted equal representation in the central government. We all know that the Brussels was mostly constituted with the French speaking people. So here the French speaking people allowed the equal representation of the Dutch in the Brussels government. Why? Because the Dutch speaking people allowed the equal representation in the central government. Now, apart from the central and the state government, there is a third kind of government. Other than the state and central government, there is also one other special kind of government. Now, there is another government. What? This community government is elected by people belonging to one language community, that is Dutch, French and German speaking. Now, this community government is elected by the people, or we can say is formed by the people belonging to all the different language. This community government is formed by is formed by the voting of all the three different language speaking people, that is Dutch, French and German, no matter where they live. Now, this government has the power regarding cultural, educational and language related issues. So this government has the right to take decisions in the matter regarding culture, education and language. Thank you friends. So hope so you have liked the lecture. Please like, share and subscribe, and stay home, stay safe.